So welcome back to Orchid House. I'm Olivier in Fort Lauderdale, and today I wanted to do a kind of a preliminary shout out for tree fern fiber. In October 2020, a gentleman named Graham Ramsey published an article in the Bulletin, the monthly Bulletin of the American Orchid Society, which, by the way, if you're not a member, I recommend you become one, and you have access to their entire every single bulletin since 1932 is on there, and there's a trove of information. It's really interesting. But anyway, so I saw the article in October 2020, and it talked about tree fern fiber, and I thought it was interesting, so I gave it a try for 1 or 2 plants. And in the meantime, I've grown very enthusiastic. So like I said, it's still preliminary. I'm going to see how I fare down the road. And obviously every plant has different watering needs, and you still need to apply that to your medium. But what I like about it is it's water retentive, at the same time the roots are very aerated. And so what I've started doing is using it for trouble plants that are tough to grow because they rot easily. It's tough to really control the moisture level, and I must say so far I'm impressed. So first example is Mormodes, real pain in the butt. So this is what tree fern fiber looks like, by the way, and the article explains exactly how you have to repot it. I mean, I'm not going to do that here, but so Mormodes are tough. I mean, they love to rot. It's really tough to do it right. So first of all, I've learned to really decrease the amount of water I give them. Unlike other members of the Calatheum Alliance, I let them dry every single time. And I mean, these bulbs are plump. Look at the root ball. I mean, so it's this year's growth. It looks pretty happy, and this started late spring, early summer, so it's only been 3 months. So it's really doing very well. So first example, Mormodes. In the same style, you have the Cycnodes. This is a recent acquisition, Jumbo Puff. And again, I mean, very plump new growth and back bulb, and also promising new roots. This has been potted not so long ago. So I imported that from South America. I still have another one that I want to have too. Oncidiums, always problematic. I tend to be an overwaterer, like I believe the majority of growers. So this is an Oncostele, Everglades Elegance, I believe. Where's the tag here? Where's my tag? I lost my okay, there you go. Yeah, Everglades Elegance. So it's a beautiful little flower. This is pitiful, but this is a rescue operation. So I bought the plant, I guess, a year ago. And after a little while it started rotting, and it became a problem, and so I had to basically cut the plant in half, get rid of everything that was in trouble, and I was left with something pitiful. And I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try with the tree fern fiber, and this is the result. Now I have these very plump bulbs. This is really plump. Every one of them is plump. I have new growth. I even have a new spike, as you could tell, but I mean, this is a pitiful one. I mean, the plant is still in recovery mode, but look at the roots. So plenty of roots. And also I want to stress, so the color, if you can see, this is getting dry. So a dry tree fern fiber is a light brown color. This has just been soaked. The sprinklers came on, so you see the difference. This is much darker. So when you want to monitor your medium, so if, for instance, the Mormodes, since I want it to become completely dry, same thing for this guy. I want to make sure that the tree fern fiber is a light brown color, and you can also tell the weight of the pot is quite different. I always use these transparent pots because, again, I want to be able to monitor the root growth. Different genus, Gongora. So this one came with some leaf problems, but I put it in this pot. It's a little over potted, but extremely healthy. So you have one nice growth here, an even bigger one there. Then you have this mini growth here. You have another one here. So I mean, there's plenty of new growth. This is a big pot, so this is approaching dryness. It's still not dry. But I only water this every 10 days, basically, even now in the summer, and with a lot of humidity, and it seems to be doing really well. Trichocentrums, especially the mule ears, I'm doing well with the rat tails, but the mule ears have always been a problem. This is a recent acquisition at the Redlands, so it's only 4 months old, and I already have one new growth here. And another one down there, which it's tough to see now, but it's already making new roots. And the leaves are plump, so again this thing I'm gonna let it go fully dry. But I think all these plants have in common, maybe less so for the Gongora, but all the others, it's a little tough to find the right balance. They really need to dry out and they rot quickly. I think this is the right medium for this because the roots are more aerated and I believe it's going to rot less quickly. So I think to me, this is a very promising lead for all these difficult genera. Now here I have a family. These are all quote-unquote Phalaenopsis. They've been considered Phalaenopsis for less than 10 years. This is called Phalaenopsis japonica. It was long considered Sedirea japonica, in the early days Arides. It's not a tough plant to grow, it's a tough one to flower. Mine hasn't bloomed in 4 years. But I decided to give it a try with the tree fern fiber, and so far, I mean, you can't really tell in the pot, but it's been doing well. The leaves are happy, and so I think this is a promising lead. And so this one is actually a primary hybrid with a cross from these two, and this is more like a rescue mission again. So it's sold to me as a Vandopsis parishii, but the name changed 5 or 6 times, and it's now Phalaenopsis hygrochilus. It's a tough plant to grow. It's tough to find the right balance between dryness and watering, and it came to me mounted. And although I let it dry out every time, the plant started declining. I mean, I never had a single root growth in 6 months, and the leaves started being really weak. And so I decided to take it off the mount because it wasn't really properly attached and try this. Now it's new, so I don't know. I think this might be a new root coming, hopefully. That would be the first time. And the leaves have stabilized because they were getting very weak. So again, this one, and like any medium, so you have to understand your medium, how it works, how water retentive it is, and how long it takes for it to dry. But this is still wet, as you can tell, so it's going to be fully dry before I decide to water it again. But I'm giving it a try. So far, I might be able to rescue this plant. And then this baby is Phalaenopsis little one. It's actually a cross between the two. And this one I bought, I don't remember, maybe 4 months ago, and it's been thriving. It's doubled in size. Now I don't see roots deep in the medium, but all these roots are practically new. So it seems to like it a lot. And since both parents are kind of troubled, I figured I'd give it a try as well. And last one, this is maybe another rescue mission. So this one I bought very recently from Ecuagenera. It's a Paphinia. And Paphinias are tough to grow in the way that they really need a lot of water, should never dry out. At the same time, when you have a new growth, the new growth has a tendency to rot. Now this was a big plant with lots of tiny little bulbs, very weak leaves, and within 2 weeks I had lost everything. And so I put it here in tree fern fiber. That one I keep moist, and the 3 remaining bulbs are plump, nice and plump. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be the start. I mean, this is the kind of plant, I guess, when it's being imported from South America, they go through a massive stress and they are dry for too many days, and so it takes a while to readjust. The fact that the few remaining bulbs, and there's still 3 of them, so that's not too bad, that they are plump gives me hope. This is again one that's going to remain wet all the time, but I guess also the fact that it's aerated properly might be a good thing. So again, this is preliminary. We'll see how I'm doing a year down the road. Maybe I'll do an update back then. But so far I'm very encouraged. According to the article, you don't even have to repot. Tree fern fiber does not disintegrate, so it's an added bonus. I think it's been recently available. This comes from New Zealand, and from what I understand, New Zealand is a very environmentally conscious country, and they tend to not over harvest. So I guess as it becomes more popular, it's already not the cheapest medium. It might become even more expensive. But I think, so that's not something you want to use for all your plants, but for me at least, these genera that are a little tougher to grow, especially like Mormodes or Oncidium types, I think it's worth a try. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.